So anyway, Resident Evil 0, what do we have to say about that one? It was good fun. It was good fun. I definitely enjoyed it. Like, I remember not hearing too many great things about it, like back in the last couple of years. I was thinking about playing it, but I heard some, I don't know, some interesting stuff about it, which made me like, not sure if I'm gonna like it or not. Then Hal played it, I think Hal played it like last year, and I remember him quite enjoying it. And I wanted to try it ever since that moment, but never had the chance. And I'm glad I tried it. Like, it's not the best Resident Evil game. Like, if I'm going to put it anywhere on the list of my favorite Resident Evil games, it would be, I don't know, it would be in front of Resident Evil 5, and it would be maybe around the same spot as Resident Evil 3 Remake, as much as I enjoy that one. Doesn't mean any of these games are bad, just it's slightly behind everything else. But the thing I liked about this game a lot is the fact it's a classic Resi game. Like, that reminds me of like the old school Resident Evil 1 that I just played some years ago as well. And that's like the best thing about it, because I think if this game was a bit more modern with some of the issues it had, then it would be a lot worse. But here's my biggest thing with the game, my biggest gripe with the game. And it's a big thing, and I know it's one of the things which makes Resident Evil 0 Resident Evil 0. I know Perotin loves it because of that thing especially, like he thinks it's a great game because of that. I do not like the fact there's no inventory boxes. I do not like the fact you need to drop your items on the floor and pick them up. Like, so many times, there's been a couple of puzzles where that system works out great. Like, you know the puzzle in the lab, like when you need to use like the small lift to like transport your items downstairs and upstairs, where you had to do the puzzle with both characters. That was good fun because you had to make use of that system to work on the puzzle. So amazing. But like, it's only been like 2 or 3 times during the game. Outside of that, it's like dropping your freaking bullets, ammunition, weapons, healing items, and all that kind of stuff, just dropping into random areas and then having to pick it up like 20 minutes later and having to go back to like 6 rooms, which is what happened on the end of the game. Like 2 times in the space of 1 hour, I had to go back like 6 rooms to pick up some of the items because it sucks. And the second thing, a link with the first one, I think if the characters had like at least 2 more slots, I don't think this would be an issue. But they had only 6 slots, and I think that makes it a big deal. Like, give them 8 to 10, this would never be a big deal. Even 8 is fine, but no, they went with minimum possible, and then they also removed the item boxes. But I get it, it's what makes Resident Evil 0, so what can you do about it? But that's like my only issue with the game, I would say. I kind of like the characters, I kind of like the development of like the Billy's and Rebecca's relationship throughout the game. Like, they start out pretty much Rebecca wanting to capture Billy, and not liking him that much. And then as the game progresses, she learns about his story. She learns about the fact that he was forced to kill people. It was an order given to him by his commander, and that, I mean, he could have said no, but he didn't. So even though he's a murderer, he's not really by his own choice, I would say. So she starts to show sympathy towards him, and of course at the same time they are helping each other, and the relationships keeps on developing. And at the end of the game, there's obviously some emotions over there, and I'm fairly certain she's pretty sad. She had to say goodbye. And just going back to Billy, what's up with Billy? If anyone knows what happened to Billy, let me know, please. Has he maybe shown in any other Resident Evil game as like a side appearance or whatever? I don't think so, but maybe I don't know. Anyway, I very much like that. I like the weapons. I mean, but as with every Resident Evil game, weapons are cool. It had everything from the handgun, shotgun, a grenade launcher, knife, magnum. It had everything. Like, this game actually didn't have a rocket launcher, which I've seen here and there, but this one doesn't seem to have it, at least not after the first playthrough. But that's a bit irrelevant. One of the things I really liked as well was the location, because I really loved how they introduced the train. Like, I don't think train has been part of Resident Evil game at all so far, right? Um, like I know it's a small part of Resident Evil 3 at certain points, but like I'm trying to go Resident Evil 1, Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 4, Resident Evil 5, no. Resident Evil 6 might have it. I'm just hearing in the chat Resident Evil 6 has it. Okay. So it's like one of the only two Resident Evil games with the train, and I'm kind of surprised. Plenty of Resident Evil games have mansions, have labs, have sewers, whereas the train is only used in two locations. Even though I think it's really cool, and it really seems to fit in the game. So yeah, I think they missed the trick by not using the train more often. So that was a shame. That was a shame. And the rest of the locations, of course, the mansion, which is standard in every Resident Evil game, the sewers standard, um, the lab standard. There's not too much room for creativity over there. It's all the same as with every other game. So the train definitely stands out as a really cool locations. And I also think in general it was done really fairly cool. Like quite a few puzzles. You had like 2 floors as well to check out enemies, danger, interesting locations. So it was quite cool. It was quite cool. And what else? Anything else I liked or disliked about this one? Maybe we can talk a bit about the story, I suppose. I mean, story is all right, I suppose. The story of like William, Albert, and Marcus, and all the initial research has been going on around the T virus, and of course, Marcus even being saved by the T virus. I mean, I'll be honest, it wasn't the greatest story ever told, but at least it did explain the origins of the T virus in general, so that was good. But, I I didn't think it was outstanding storytelling. Let's be honest about that. It was a bit on the weaker side in that. I think it was a bit on the weaker side, but it's still enjoyable. Still enjoyable, but I wouldn't play the game for the story. Let's put it like that. I still I still like the fact I kind of got to know some information that I had no idea about. Like you got to know a little bit more about William, who you don't really hear too much about. Of course, some new stuff about Albert, and of course about Marcus, who was the original person behind the virus as well. And they stole the project away from him, and they even killed him, but he got resurrected by the T virus, which was kind of a fun thing because isn't T virus supposed to make you a zombie? Maybe I missed something here. Maybe it was explained. I missed it. But T virus is like supposed to make you a zombie, and it made him stay alive. Like it sort of resurrected him, but he didn't become the zombie. So I was a bit confused by that. If anyone has something to say on that, I welcome it. But didn't know. I'm not sure about that one. Sounds confusing to me, but yeah. Anyway, so we went through some of the bad stuff, which is honestly the only bad stuff for me was the inventory system. Story was average, but it was not bad. The game had plenty of good points for sure. Like overall, very enjoyable game. I would place it in the bottom 3, but like I said on the start, bottom 3 does not mean it's a bad game. I think all of the racing games are good, but there's some of them that are slightly better than some of the other ones. And I would definitely recommend the game for anyone who's looking to play it. You might find the inventory system annoying, but you will get used to it after a while, and afterwards you will enjoy the game and you will have a good fun. So 6 out of 10, maybe 6.5 out of 10. Like if I'm reaching 7 out of 10 is a good rating for this game. Anyway, that's it. Thanks for listening, guys. Have a good one. Bye.